Hello, welcome to our classes. I am Dr. K.K. Mishra. This video tutorial is on descriptive questions and answers on KNC 501, Constitution of India, Law and Engineering, a subject taught in AKTU BTech third year. This is the part 6 of the series of video tutorials dealing with descriptive questions and answers on this subject. इस वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल में हम क्वेश्चन नंबर 26 से 30 तक डिस्कशन करेंगे। जैसे कि प्रीवियस वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल्स में आपको 25 क्वेश्चंस तक आंसर्स हमने डिस्कस किए हैं। हमें यकीन है कि जिन टॉपिक्स को हमने टच किया इस पर ज़रूर कुछ न कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपके एग्जाम में आ सकते हैं और इनको समझकर आप उनके आंसर्स अच्छे से लिख सकते हैं। नाउ कम टू द क्वेश्चंस। क्वेश्चन नंबर 26. What restrictions exist as to the evidence that can be heard by the court? The Evidence Law of India has detailed provisions on admissibility or inadmissibility and relevancy or irrelevancy of evidence. Broadly speaking, evidence can be primary or secondary. Secondary evidence can be given only if under the best evidence rule. There is no better evidence, that is primary evidence, which is required to be given first. A proper explanation is given for the absence of primary evidence. Both oral and documentary evidences, including electronic records, are admissible. Only direct oral evidence in personal knowledge and experience is admissible. Hearsay or derivative evidence is inadmissible. But this rule is not absolute. For example, a dying declaration can be admissible as hearsay evidence. This you should keep in mind. Now, question number 27. Is there a doctrine by which the judiciary can review legislative and executive actions? यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं, under the constitution, the superior judiciary has been said to offer one of the widest and most extensive scopes of judicial review in the world. The power of judicial review of legislative and executive action is considered to be an essential tool for preserving the doctrine of separation of powers and the rule of law. The Supreme Court of India and the High Courts can review and invalidate legislative or executive actions if they are found to be breach of the Constitution. This power is not exercised suo motu, means that is on its own motion, but only when the validity of an action, law or rule is specifically challenged before the court. Judicial review must be exercised with judicial restraint. The courts must not encroach into the legislative or executive domain by rewriting legal provisions or by making policy decisions. इस तरीके से इसके आंसर आप लिख सकते हैं समझकर. Now, question number 28. Which party has the burden of proof in a trial and at what standard is this burden met? Now, the burden of proof in both civil and criminal proceedings is either on the party that would fail if no evidence were given on either side, the party asserting a claim or who intends to persuade the court of any fact, and if any fact is in the special knowledge of a person, the burden of proof is on that person to prove the fact. This rule applies in all situations unless an exception is created by law. However, if the statutory or legal threshold is met by one party, the burden of proof shifts to the other side. For example, in proving the existence of a document, if a party adduces a photocopy, if the original is unavailable and the other party claims document is forged, that other party has the burden to prove it is a forgery. Civil law. In a civil suit, the standard of proof is preponderance of probabilities. What is this? That is, the occurrence of something in a certain manner was more likely than not. Criminal law. Generally, in criminal matters, the standard of proof is to establish guilt by beyond all reasonable doubt. However, departing from the general rule of evidence in certain criminal or penal provisions such as dowry death or customs evasion, the law requires meeting a bare minimal threshold by the prosecution to presume the guilt of the accused. The burden of proving otherwise then lies on the accused. Now, question number 29. What verdicts can the court give? In case of civil law, in a civil suit, depending on the relief sought and the outcome of the case, the court can give a variety of verdicts. A verdict in favor of the claimant will typically be a money decree or declaratory decree or both. A verdict in favor of the defendant may result in the claimant being ordered to pay costs if necessary. Criminal law. In criminal matters, the verdict can be either on conviction or acquittal. Where more than one person is accused, the court can convict some parties and acquit the rest. Question number 30. What range of penalties, relief can the court order upon a verdict? In case of civil law, on reaching a verdict, a civil court can grant all or any of the monetary or declaratory reliefs sought by the claimant in its claim before the court. A civil court will not usually grant any relief which is either not sought at all or is beyond what has been sought. Monetary reliefs can be general damages, whether liquidated or unliquidated, for a breach of contract or special damages in special circumstances. A civil court can also grant incidental damages such as reasonable expenses or costs, indirect losses, for example, for reputational harm or loss of business and opportunity, can also be granted, although the threshold of proving them is quite high. Only losses that have been proved can be compensated, as Indian law does not provide for windfall. Apart from monetary reliefs, declaratory reliefs, usually permanent or mandatory injunctions, can be granted. Cases of criminal law. After a guilty verdict, depending on the nature of the crime and the statutory penalty prescribed, the criminal court can sentence the verdict to simple or rigorous imprisonment, ranging from a few months to imprisonment for life or the death penalty. A fine can also be imposed if permitted under the statute. Upon conviction of corporate entities, Indian criminal law does not permit imposing punishment on their officers unless specifically permitted by a statute. So this was all about this particular video tutorial. I am damn sure आपको ये जरूर पसंद आया होगा और इसके टॉपिक्स जो हमने इसमें कवर किए हैं वो आपको अच्छी तरीके से समझ में आ गए होंगे। इसको देखने सुनने के बाद आप बहुत अच्छी तरीके से अगर इन टॉपिक्स पर क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं तो उनके आंसर आप लिख सकते हैं। Please do not forget to subscribe my channel and pass it on to others, those who are needy now and in the future. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Best of luck.